Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. So I got an update for you from Lyft. This was an email that was sent out to hopefully all Lyft drivers, but if you didn't receive it, I'll go over the email. And this is also for all other gig workers who do not drive for Lyft, whether it's just Uber only or if you are in delivery or shopping or any of the other platforms. Some of this information will apply to you as well. So we're going to go over what the email says as well as one of the links that's inside the email. Plus, it's actually got a pretty funny thing. At least I got a little chuckle out of it. But even though it is a chuckle out of it, it is still kind of what is going on in today's world. So let's get right into it. This is the email right here that hopefully as a Lyft driver you did receive. If you didn't, here it is right now. We're going to go over it real quick. And then also for all non-Lyft drivers, so that means just Uber only. If you're in the delivery, whatever you might be in the gig economy, this is going to have some good information for you as well. Now, this is a weekly email update that Lyft has been putting out and starting to put out. So I got to say, there's a lot of good information in here, and it's a lot more information than something that Uber has put out. So I actually got to say, good job, Lyft. Thank you for this. Normally, I am pretty critical at points on certain things they do, but in this aspect, they actually get a pretty good thumbs up. But going on to the email, this is something, like I said, that they do each week now, and it's going to give information about driving, earning opportunities besides Lyft, and supporting the community. So they're going to be talking and giving several links in these emails on to what's updated, new changes, things along that nature. So right here, you can see what's new. They're giving up-to-date information and a new online resource for drivers where you can also access local updates and government restrictions on how they may affect not only Lyft's operations, but all. Then it talks about the CARES Act, which was just passed by the House and Senate earlier this week. It's going to Trump's desk to get signed, and very likely to get signed immediately. So it may already be in effect once this video is published, or at least when you watch this video. So it's going to provide financial assistance to people during this time. We're going to also click the link, kind of go over some of the information in there, how it's going to benefit drivers and other gig workers in the gig economy itself. And then Amazon Force as a way where you can create additional income. Many people are applying now for Amazon. So if you want to work at Amazon, yes, you can click the link. Go here and you can start as soon as 7 days. No resumes or previous work experience required. And through April, they're also adding an additional $2 an hour. So I believe that's at starting, right there, earn $17 an hour or more. And that's entry level. So if you are looking for a job or if you're looking to offset your income in any way, shape, or form, they are providing new ways to be able to earn opportunities. And Amazon is one of them. And then they're also going the ongoing support for the communities. So they're finding new ways for drivers to earn. So they're working with government agencies, local nonprofits, healthcare organizations, so drivers can deliver essential items like groceries, different tests, medical supplies. And 100,000 drivers have already signed up. And this is the Lyft Up program that I had talked about in a previous video, which I also signed up as well for. So it's just helping to get people and supplies and items to where it needs to go, as well as essential workers, which is number 2, arranging rides for those in need. So they've partnered with over 100 local and national nonprofits to fund free rides for people in need, from grocery store staff to food bank patrons. And drivers are paid fully for these rides. So even though that the customer or the passenger may not pay for the ride, you still are getting paid for the ride. So your time and mileage will still get compensated for it. And they're still providing relief for drivers directly affected. So they're putting away sick pay. I do have another video that will be coming out about that specifically. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified for that video as well as every other video that will be coming out as well. And then also focusing on your health, follow guidelines. Some drivers are putting, here's the little chuckle I got actually. Some drivers are putting plastic between front and back seats. And if you choose to drive during this time and are interested, this kit is available in hardware stores and on Amazon. So if you do want to see what this kit is, there you go. It's the 3M window insulator kit. I will leave a link in the description below for you. So if you do want something like this, you can get it. It's $12.79, it looks like. And normally it's $22.54. So hopefully this will be on there for a little while. But yeah, if you are interested, you can click the link in the description below and barricade yourself a little bit more. A couple other things that some drivers are doing is, besides putting up a barrier, they're only allowing a certain amount of people in the car. So instead of having 4 riders for a regular ride or an X ride, depending on what platform you're using, they may be limiting it down to 2 to try to help with social distancing and all of those things. So yeah, there's a few different things. Also, keep your windows open a little bit to get that fresh air in. Make sure your vents are on fresh air mode. If you have only recycled air modes like some vehicles do, try to turn that off, or at least block the vents in certain parts of the car, maybe in the back where the passengers are sitting. And also, if you feel uncomfortable with people sitting up in your front seat, make sure you voice that if people try getting into your front seat. Or you could just place a sticker on the car, on the window on the passenger side, where you can just say, please sit in the back seat due to everything that's going on. Now, going on to the CARE Act, and this was the link in the one part where it said the CARE Act. I will leave a link in the description below so you can go and read this in full if you want. This is definitely geared towards Lyft and Lyft drivers, but all drivers, all gig workers will actually fall under this because the CARE Act is designed to cover all independent contractors and gig workers. So it just talks about real quick what it is. It's the CARE Act, and it's a lot of different provisions about expanding unemployment benefits and things like that. So who qualifies? Most drivers use the platform as supplemental income while working as full-time or part-time employees elsewhere. For those of you who fall into this category, meaning you have another job on top of driving for Uber, Lyft, or within the gig economy, those receiving W-2s from your part-time or full-time employer, you would be eligible for an expansion of existing unemployment compensation under the CARES Act if that job has been interrupted during the health crisis. And that is an extra $600 per week from the federal government. So that has gone through, plus on top of your normal state wage or state unemployment. Other drivers who are self-employed, including independent contractors, would be eligible to receive compensation through a new temporary pandemic unemployment assistance program available upon enactment of the legislation through December 31st, 2020. So this pandemic unemployment assistance, once signed by President Trump, will be effective, and anybody who is an independent contractor for just the gig economy, and if you are also a self-employed person, meaning you own your own business or however you are self-employed, plus doing Uber and Lyft, then you can fall under this where you can get pandemic unemployment assistance from now through December 31st. Again, once that is signed and enacted. Those who are unable or unavailable to work as a direct result of the public health emergency may qualify for this assistance. The program would offer up to 39 weeks of benefits with weekly benefits of at least half the average weekly benefit under regular unemployment insurance, plus an additional $600 per week for up to 4 months. So how that works is if your state's average is $400, they take 50% of that, which would be $200, plus $600 from the federal government, and you would receive $800 per week for up to 4 months. The legislation also provides direct payments of up to $1,200 for all individuals with adjusted gross income up to $75,000 based on 2019 or 2018 tax returns. A lot of people only have 2018 tax returns because they may not have filed their 2019 yet. Either one will work and be okay for you. So all married couples with adjusted gross income up to $150,000 who file a joint return would be eligible for payments up to $2,400. After that amount is reached, whether it's the $75,000 for single or joint for $150,000, as you go up, it tapers off until you hit $99,000 or higher, or $198,000 or higher, respectively, whether it's single or joint. And then those amounts increase by $500 for every child. So if you have a family of 4, you will be getting, $3,400? $3,400. And additionally, the CARES Act would expand the availability of small business loans and emergency grants through the SBA. These could be used for a variety of purposes and may be subject to deferment or even forgiveness. And federal student loan payments for direct loans and federal family education loans would be suspended for 6 months with no interest occurring. So that is some very good news for a lot of people. And then this, again, you can read the rest of it, and that's just going to talk about some of the things that Lyft is doing. But this right here, who qualifies, that is not going to be just for Lyft drivers. It's for Lyft, Uber, Instacart, DoorDash, anybody who's been affected where they can't work anymore, or in this wording, don't want to work because of what's going on out there. Now, if you are looking for employment elsewhere and you've been laid off, or you don't want to drive for whatever reason, you don't want to be around people in a close confined quarter like your car, then there's a lot of other places that are hiring, whether it's Amazon, like I showed you earlier. A lot of grocery stores are hiring, a lot of drugstores are hiring, a lot of places where they're deemed essential are hiring because some of the staff doesn't want to work. And then also, there's just been mad rushes on a lot of things. So they're trying to get things stocked. They're trying to get things going. So there's a lot of places that are hiring at a vast pace. And some are even offering sign-on bonuses. Now, if you want to continue within the gig economy itself, you still can. Things like delivery are at an all-time high. Instacart is at an all-time high. So if you want to do something like DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub, Instacart, Amazon Flex, all those are going to be doing higher business volume than normal, while Uber and Lyft are quiet. Now, what are you doing? Are you going to try to look for work elsewhere by doing something else to offset any income? Are you going to try to file for unemployment? Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. Now that's the end of this video. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new update comes along and anytime I post the normal content that I normally create. Also, make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.